Viewer discretion is advised.
Smith says he's the concerned caller who first alerted police.
I feel guilty because had I not called the Fort Police Department, my neighbor would still be alive today.
You got that right, sucker. I do not trust this particular individual right here. First of all, he could have easily walked over to the young lady's house to see if there were any problems. He looks like one of these guys who probably had a crush on the young lady and sent the laws to the house to mess things up, if she had company or whatever. Because he could have easily walked his ass over there to the house to check on the lady if he was so concerned. I'm tired of these beta males wearing these armor fatigues like they're some type of soldiers. Mister, you are not a soldier. You are a perfect example of a beta male. No one should ever have to have a neighbor such as this because of his stupid and cowardly behavior. He cost his young lady, 28-year-old young lady, her life. And he does not look remorseful. He's happy to be interviewed. He's not remorseful at all. He doesn't have his head down sad like, man, I cost this young lady her life. You are happy, telling me you might feel a little something on your chest. Sir, what you need is something big on your ass. What's so ironic is the young lady lives right next to a church. Let's get this straight. If you are living in your own home and some informant gives the police officers the wrong address, they come in and shoot you in your home, nothing gets done. If a police officer comes home tired and walks into your apartment thinking it's theirs, shoots and kills you, nothing happens. There's no wrongdoing. And if some nosy ass, lazy, cowardly neighbor thinks that you are sick in the house and calls for a wellness check and they kill you, oh, nothing gets done. Because when they saw you in your own house, they perceived you as a threat. Seems like we are going to have to start fortifying our homes against intruders, which are police officers. They are the new home invaders. The people in Fort Worth are upset, to say the least. I've been to Fort Worth, and there is a lot of racism there in Fort Worth. And I'm quite sure these people, they're tired of this, man, because this happens a lot in that part of Texas. Again, as I always say, where are the black leaders? Where's old slick back Al Sharpton? No Jesse Jackson. You know you're going to hear from these black lawyers because they see money in this. So I expect to hear from the local civil rights attorneys. But the black leaders, you don't hear from them. Only the local people are concerned about this. And when it gets enough traction and it gets kind of like highly publicized, I guarantee you will see Al Sharpton and every other so-called black leader want to say something all of a sudden. But this is one message I have to the people in Fort Worth. If you see Al Sharpton or one of those black so-called leaders come, send their asses away because they come to kill your movement. They don't come to help you. They're going to get you paid, but they're going to come to kill your movement. So don't accept them. I mean, by now you should all know that Al Sharpton and these other political coons are sellouts. So why even play the game with them, man? They're only thing they're going to do is sell you out. They are wired. Whatever you talk about, the people who you don't want to know what you're going to say are going to know what you are saying. Do not trust these people. You're on the right road because you're tired of it. That's the main thing. And you're ready to take some type of action. That's another good thing. So you don't need these political leaders to do that. You're on the right road.
A lot of people want to know exactly what happened here early this morning. It happened here at this home on East Allen and Mississippi. Right now you can see friends and loved ones are here at the residence supporting one another, trying to make sense of this terrible tragedy. Now neighbors say 28-year-old Atatiana Jefferson lived here with her 8-year-old nephew. Around 2:30 this morning, a neighbor saw the door open and the lights on. He called a non-emergency line asking police to come see if neighbors were okay. We're about to show you what happened next. This is the body cam footage provided by Fort Worth Police in its entirety.
When this cop saw the door open, why didn't he alert the people inside that there's an officer outside? Hey, is there anyone home? Police. This man said nothing. He crept and sneaked around the house to kill this young lady.
Show me your hands!
From the time this racer cracker cop yelled, "Put your hands up, show me your hands," there was less than 2 seconds had elapsed before he shot this lady in her own home.
Put your hands up, show me your hands!
That was not enough time to respond. And you can't blame it on training because he already went through training. It's not about the training, it's the behavior and the attitude of these cops. What was it the FBI said about these rogue cops joining the police force to kill black people? If it was a wellness check, man, he got a hell of a way on looking out for someone's wellness. As I say, he gave the lady less than 2 seconds to live. When the door was open, he did not address himself or announce himself. He snuck and creeped and peeped. The lady probably saw it, wondered who that was too. And she said to one day, "You shoot the damn, this is bullshit." This is exactly like with Amber Geiger. And I said that when Amber Geiger opened that door, she gave Botham Jean less than 2 seconds to live. This is exactly what Amber Geiger did to Botham Jean. So I guess what's coming up next is they're going to try to tarnish her image, say she was smoking weed, had a boyfriend that was gang related or some type of shit that they're going to use to make her look bad and make the cop look good to justify this damn murder.
Now, in that video, you never hear the police officer identify himself. He simply goes through a gate into the backyard, then sees a figure in the window, and then in a span of about 3 seconds, you saw it there, he shouts the orders, "Put your hands up, show me your hands, show me your hands," and almost immediately after, that deadly shot rings out. Now, Fort Worth police have not identified that officer, but describe him as a white man who has been with the department since April of last year. Now, remember,
this racist cracker cop fool has been on the force for only a year and 6 months. Is this the first black person he has shot and killed? I really would like to know. But they're going to try to cover it up, keep him hid as long as they can. Give him enough time to get their lives together.
this all started with a call from a welfare check from a neighbor who says police were supposed to come to make sure Jefferson was okay, not to put her in harm's way.
I explained on the call that there wasn't any violence going on, any type of arguments going on. It was simply a concern for my neighbor.
If there was no violence going on, or as you say, nothing like that, why didn't you get your coon ass up and go check on the young lady? When you call the police officer these days, it's a death sentence. Remember Barbecue Becky and all this type of shit? Are you fucking stupid? Oh, I believe you are.
I'm still kind of broken and shocked. They tell me I shouldn't feel bad, but I feel bad because had I not...
What else would the cops tell your country coon ass? Because they don't feel bad about the people they killed. So quite naturally, they're going to tell your coon ass to feel the same way. Now I'm wondering, do you?
Call the police department, she would probably still be alive today. So I do feel a little weight on me for that, making that call.
Your ass ought to feel sick and weak. They should make you pay for the damn funeral. As a matter of fact, they should make you dig a hole and cover your own goddamn ass up. Man, we just have to stop being so damn weak and scary and cowardly and have to call the cops for every little damn thing. You could have easily got your ass up and checked on this lady. And yes, she will be alive today. And we'll never know the real reason why your ass called them damn cops.
Now, the officer has been placed on administrative leave. The department says all of the evidence will be handed over to the district attorney's office.
Well, we all know what that means. Nothing is going to happen. I mean, we already know. Let's stop playing this game. We know that the prosecutors and the police department, they're all one. They're not going to do a damn thing about this. What they're going to try and do is go through these law books and find some way to get this law the less amount of time they can get him. That's what they're doing. This is nothing more than a stall tactic. And when they talk about doing a thorough investigation, who is conducting the investigation? People that are being investigated? I don't trust the FBI, the CIA, the Texas Rangers, the police department, the sheriffs, the constables, the security guards, Metro Police. I don't trust any of you people. People always talk about the Bible. Who are the ones that arrested Jesus? You goddamn cops. So, it's the same thing. Cops arrest people that they know are innocent. But because that's their job and that's what they are told to do, that's what they do. They don't do the right things. They do exactly what their asses are told to do. When it's all said and done, these people who are instructing the cops and the politicians to do wrong, they're going to run and hide. You know who's going to be left to receive the ass kicking? The politicians, the police, and the rest of the people that are left that were always abusing the rights of the people.
To see if any criminal charges will follow. And I can tell you that is what a lot of friends, relatives, and neighbors are calling for here at this moment. They say Jefferson had every right to be inside her home and that she posed absolutely no threat to that officer.
That goes without question. Both of them, Gene had the right to be in his own home. Dennis Tully and Regina Nicholas had the right to be in their own home. Miss Atatiana had the right to be in her own home, but what happened? Because some bumbling, fumbling, foolish, stupid, cowardly cracker cop, these people have lost their lives. Except for the case with the Tuttles, it was an ignorant coon cop that committed that crime. In one news report, it said that she was at home playing video games with her nephew. Damn, you can't even sit at home in your house in peace without some fucking nosy-ass white person killing us, man. And I'm telling you, hey, this shit is not going to last. This is not going to be the norm. We are not going for that. I mean, hey, you can take it like you want to take it, but we ain't taking this shit no more.
Now, we are already starting to see community members react to this shooting, and to say that they are angry would definitely be an understatement.
It's sad enough that our young men are being killed. But when our women are not safe, as men in our community, we are called to stand up and protect the women in our community. And when our women are not safe, then it's going to get to a point that we can no longer be passive.
There you go.
At some point, we have to fight aggression with aggression. As pastors and Christians, yes, we're called to love. We're called to forgive, but we're not called to be fools. And it's time out for you continue to kill the people in our neighborhood and expect us to be passive. So again, I'm with Bishop Kirkland. When I first got involved with this is what I said. What bothers me with us as a community is 2 or 3 weeks we'll be upset, we'll be angry, and then we'll go on with life. But what we're finding out, if we stop for 2 or 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks later, somebody else may be killed. So we got to stand up as a community and let them know that we're sick and tired of our young ladies being killed. We're sick and tired of our sons being killed. And the thing with this, you can't say she had a gun in her hand. It don't matter if she did, because in all actuality, if the council doctrine could have stood in the Amagaga trial, then it could have stood in this one. She had a right to protect herself if she's in her own house. And if you're outside of my house, walking outside of my window, and there is a gun in my house, as a person that has property and is a rightful property owner, I have a right to protect myself. So I want to find out how you're going to twist this one, how you're going to turn this one, to try and make it seem as though it's justified for you killing this lady in her house. And the next thing I would like to say, the Chief Krause, Mayor Betsy Price, and all the city officials, we're not asking for a suspension. And I'm saying as a community, we're not asking for a suspension. We're asking for termination. We're not going to allow you to tell us he got suspended for 30 days and we applaud you and say, job well done. This person, whoever it is, male or female, does not need to be on the streets. Because if that was me and I killed somebody that was in their own house, me knowing from dealing with the system, y'all going to put me in prison and put me in there for a long time. So we cannot allow this woman to do this or this man to do this, keep their job, and then not label them as what they are. And that is a murderer.
That's right.
So again, we're calling on our communities to understand, and I'm with Bishop. No, we're not here to sell our people out. No, we're going to fight hand, feet, tooth, and nail for our communities. Because in all actuality, I think this is what people miss. We just like y'all.
That's it.
I don't care how many tables we go sit at. If they catch me at the wrong time in the wrong place,
that's it.
It could be Pastor Rodney McIntosh that get killed, just like they done this woman.
Now, at this point, I want to bring Kevin Reese into the conversation. He's been hearing from neighbors and also those faith leaders in the community we just heard from. Kevin, it seems as the anger has really just grown as we see the video and get more information about what happened here.
And it continues to grow with the relative silence from the Fort Worth Police Department. That's what's bothering folks the most right now. I want to give you a vantage point where we are right at this moment. We are at the side of the house. This is where the officers approached, walked along the side of this, which is actually one of the nicer houses in this neighborhood, walked through that fence into the backyard, and that's where that single shot was fired. What bothers the neighbors right now, and you're going to hear from more of them in a moment, is there are no police here right now. They have released a portion of that body cam video. They've released one photo of a gun inside that house after the fact. They've had a written press release, but that is it at this point. No news conference has been called. Fort Worth Police say they will not be talking anytime soon. So community leaders, for a number of reasons, including those, are incensed, and of course, they are making obvious comparisons to the death of both of Jean in Dallas. This is part of what those community leaders had to say earlier today.
If the officer is at fault, then the officer must suffer the consequences, because you cannot continue to kill people and justify it because they're law enforcement.
So our concern is this. Number one is that as in Dallas, in both John's case, police entering the house. This time, the police took it a step further, and she was in her own place and shot and killed her. That is not only unacceptable, that's murder.
That's right.
The Fort Worth police murdered this woman. Don't paint this sister as no villain.
That's right.
If you do that, if you paint this sister as a villain, this city gonna have hell to pay. Don't paint this sister as no villain. They're the ones who murdered. They murdered her, and there's no excuse for it.
None.
That's it.
I call on the police department to be totally transparent, starting immediately, to not hide anything, to not withhold anything from the community of Fort Worth. We're tired of this, and it's going to stop.
And we're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and we're going to keep on talking about this until justice happens. We're crying out to the Lord. Our only recourse at this point is for God Almighty to hear our cry and come see about us.
Don't know who he is, but somebody sit that damn coon down. I've been there for over 50 years, and for over 50 years there have been police brutality against black people. And all they want to do is talk. And 50 years later, we still getting brutalized by police. And we still have people amongst us that all they want to do is talk and discuss it. Ludicrous.
And so, yes, community leaders have spoken out already today. We do expect more reaction here as the night goes on. But again, according to what the neighbors have told us, those officers approached with no lights, no sirens, parked around the corner and walked up to the house in the dark. So people want more answers. They want more words from the Fort Worth Police Department right now that they are not getting. And we'll continue to ask those questions as the night goes on and as this investigation gets underway. Marie?
Caucasians are coming to the end of their reign, and they're going to do everything they can to remain in power. But it won't work. Freedom is not given, but earned.